Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Ticks and mosquitoes are back in a big way, and there's new research for parents to consider when it comes to protecting kids. Hank.
Almost everything in the state of Michigan has now reopened except gyms, and it has some people going after the governor. I'll take you inside the debate, new tonight.
Ford Motor Company taking a flexible approach to bringing salaried workers back to the office for the rest of 2020.
The reopening of Michigan tops our news here at 6 o'clock as we learn more about the transitions for places such as gyms, offices, and schools.
Michigan reported 204 new cases today, along with 2 additional deaths from the virus. Mayor Duggan today urged the city's bar and restaurant employees to get tested due to their heavy exposure to the public.
Governor Whitmer believes schools will be able to offer in-person instruction this fall, though she didn't provide details, only saying a return to school roadmap would be laid out in an executive order on June 30th. She did say there will be minimum safety requirements laid out for school districts.
What will be recommended for our schools? Districts, students, staff, and families must be nimble, and we've got to be prepared to move backwards if there is evidence of community spread of the virus. While we hope soon to be in phase 5 and stay there until post-pandemic, we've got to be prepared for spikes that might occur over the next school year. Public health conditions change daily, and we're going to need to be prepared to move quickly between scenarios. So the roadmap will set minimum health and safety requirements, although districts may choose to enact more aggressive ones in consultation with their local public health officials.
The governor says the entire state could be in phase 5 of her My Safe Start plan by the 4th of July, meaning more restrictions would be lifted by then.
And among the few types of businesses still closed are gyms and health clubs. And as our consumer investigator Hank Winchester reports, they're mounting a new push to get clearance to reopen.
What is taking so long? It's what so many of you are asking the Help Me Hank team. Why are salons and restaurants allowed to open, but gyms like LA Fitness here, well, they have to remain closed per the governor's order. Gyms, they remain closed. Spas, barbershops, restaurants, all allowed to open in Metro Detroit. And as you can imagine, gym owners are not happy.
I'm infuriated because how can you even put proper social distancing after you've had a couple Jack and Cokes? But yet here, you know, it's a worse off situation. I don't understand that.
The governor made the move to open gyms in northern Michigan, but not here in Metro Detroit.
It's just difficult, feeling like we're being punished for following directions.
MACOMB County Executive Mark HACKEL sharing his thoughts on Twitter, asking the governor to greenlight gyms.
These businesses are really suffering. They're really challenged. And there are people that really want to go here and enjoy it.
Some gyms have reopened despite the order. The Royal Oak Gym just opened on Monday. This Brighton gym has been open for weeks. And Lifetime members in Rochester Hills getting this notice. The gym remains closed, however, the pool will open soon, and members will still pay their full membership fee.
It's time to allow them the opportunity to open and get back into some sense of normalcy, allow people the ability to use a fitness and recreation facility for the health and wellness of them individually.
Back out here live, the gym owners we've spoken with today and during the last few days tell us they have plans in place to make sure that those visiting the gym would remain safe and a safe distance from other people within the fitness facility. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank.
Hank, before you go, has the governor given any indication about when these gyms and health clubs can expect to reopen?
Well, she didn't mention gyms or fitness facilities today specifically during that press availability, but if you look at the phases of how she has opened other businesses, if you will, right now gyms open in northern Michigan. So if you follow that track, we're looking at the possibility of sometime in late July, Kim.
Yeah. Okay. Hank, thank you.
Ford Motor Company laid out several options today for its white-collar employees in terms of where they can do their work for the rest of the year. Sean Lay has a look at this flexible approach that the automaker's trying.
If you've been working at home and now you hear that Ford is giving its employees the option to keep working at home, you know that may not be an easy call to make. If Ford employees choose to return to their offices, they're going to find a far different workplace. The Dearborn automaker putting out this video on wearing masks and hand washing, and how employees will keep their distance in this new day and age of COVID-19. Meantime, there are thousands of Ford salaried employees who have a decision to make. Ford asking them in a survey how they want to work beyond September, remotely, on-site, or a blended schedule. If you've been working from home, if you have kids, you know it may not be an easy call to make. Auto industry expert Paul Eisenstein is a work-from-home veteran.
I think a lot of folks are going to start thinking about the stay-at-home option, and for a couple of different reasons. Number one, we are now seeing that places that have opened up, particularly those who opened up too early, are being hit with very, very serious secondary waves of the COVID infection.
Eisenstein says with Ford extending work from home, look for other automakers to follow suit. Those who can do their jobs at home may keep it that way with concerns of a second wave of the virus. One Ford employee locally I spoke with, she has kids, and she says she doesn't know what the fall is going to look like, so it's her preference to keep working at home. Sean Lay, Local 4.
All right, Sean. Well, can you feel it out there? Those temperatures creeping higher and higher every day.
We head back to Ben's place for the latest on our late spring heat wave coming in. Ben.
Yeah, and it makes it feel even warmer when you see that grass sort of get that light green, start of that little bit of light brown showing up. Things are getting crunchy out there, but the temperature's going up, and we've also got an air quality alert that's been posted for tomorrow at least. This is for most of southeast Michigan, and it is for ozone. So if you've got breathing problems, stay indoors as much as possible, and if you go outside, try to limit your exertion. And for the rest of us, this is our first ozone action day of the year, so try to delay those errands, carpool when you can, and any of the gas-powered vehicles, try to do that at the beginning or end of the day and avoid the hottest part. Temperatures sliding tonight down into the 60s. Of course, we'll have a lot of sunshine until the sun goes down, but humidity is going to stay at bay until probably Saturday when it starts really creeping back to the muggy category. We'll show you what that means for how it's going to feel like for Father's Day weekend. All coming up in just a few minutes, guys. Oh, don't forget to download the Local Forecasters app. You can already see the Father's Day forecast and beyond. There is a little bit of a cool down. We'll discuss more of that in just a few minutes, guys.
Ben, a man is dead and another shot after some kind of altercation in Inkster happened off the 28,000 block of Glenwood in a neighborhood near Inkster and Cherry Hill Roads. Our Grant Herms was there and learned from neighbors there was a lot of commotion there last night.
Neighbors here say shootings are unfortunately all too common, and last night those shots were masked by fireworks, leaving many here questioning whether they heard the fatal shots. Michigan State Police say the shooting happened around 1:30 in the morning. A 27-year-old man was found shot to death in the front seat of a white Chevy Traverse, the SUV riddled with bullets. Another man and a woman involved in the shooting drove to the hospital. The man was shot but is expected to survive. The woman was unhurt.
I didn't hear not one thing, and I was surprised because, I got a 10-month-old kid in there, so she keeps me up at night. So I'm honestly surprised that I didn't hear anything, especially being right here on the corner.
Neighbors say shootings aren't uncommon, and last night there was added commotion. Fireworks. Xavier Torres has lived on the street for the past 4 years. He says his dogs were barking, but he never went outside.
There was a lot of fireworks going off last night. So there's a big possibility that one of the things that I heard was could have been the shooting, and it was really loud back here.
Just up the road, Jesse Owens lives less than a block away, and those fireworks, he says, are just as common as shootings.
Sometimes it's louder than normal. It's basically just guessing what it is, what type of firework it is, but for fireworks, yeah, definitely normal.
MSP is still investigating the shooting, but say it is not a random incident, leaving many more questions than answers in the death of this young man. In Inkster, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Okay, Grant. With children spending more time outdoors, local doctors are warning parents to take steps to protect kids from two prominent pests. We're talking about mosquitoes and ticks. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a new study on these summer threats. Doc?
Yeah, Kim, for several summers now, we've seen ticks becoming a bigger problem in southeast Michigan. A number of local parents have already reported finding a tick on their child in recent weeks. Now, most have been playing in their own backyard or in a park, not in some heavily wooded area. The bugs are back, and 2 pose a particular threat in Michigan. A new national poll from Mott Children's Hospital finds 23% of parents are very concerned about mosquito-borne illnesses. Twice as many are worried about ticks, with 46% reporting a high level of concern. In Michigan, mosquitoes can carry viruses like West Nile and Eastern equine encephalitis, which can cause permanent disabilities and even death. The most common tick-borne illness in Michigan is Lyme disease. The Mott poll found most parents say they usually use bug spray on their children, but they were more likely to use it in wooded or swampy areas, not in their yard, neighborhood, or a local park. Just 1 in 3 parents reported using an insect repellent that contained DEET, the most effective ingredient to protect against mosquito bites. 34% of parents say they often have their children wear long pants and long sleeves to protect against bites. 21% wear light-colored clothing, and 73% always have their children wear shoes outside. Because an infected tick generally needs to stay attached for at least 24 hours to transmit Lyme disease, it's important to do thorough tick checks on children when they come indoors and to learn how to remove ticks properly. Now, it's also important to make a habit of putting on insect repellent to protect against mosquitoes and ticks. Remember, this is not just an up north or hiking in the woods problem anymore. It is literally in your own backyards.
Yeah. Oh, Frank, you mentioned in your piece that it's important to remove a tick properly if you do find one. What does that mean? How do you remove it properly?
Yeah, well, you know, it sounds icky to a lot of people, but basically you want to use tweezers and gently grab the head, actually, as close to your skin as possible, and try and pull it straight out. Try not to crush the body or twist the head, because it could leave little bits under your skin. Also, keep in mind that home remedies like suffocating the tick under oil or lighting it with a match or burning it with a match are also not good, because the tick will tend to regurgitate more of the potentially infected goo inside their bodies into you. So it's just best to pull it straight out.
Yeah, you're right. That does sound gross, but certainly good information to know. Thank you, Doc.
New at 6.
As we continue to celebrate the class of 2020, I'll introduce you to an inspiring graduate from Pinckney High School who defied all odds by making it to his graduation day.
Also, someone did serious damage using an Oakland County landmark as their own personal motorcycle track, where police say this guy was joyriding somewhere it's definitely not allowed.